Friends, Eric Andres, your Guitar Sage here. How the heck are you doing? We're gonna have so much fun today. We had a blast yesterday. Light bulbs going on all day yesterday, right? What we're doing all this week is we are learning how to improvise, how to create solos, how to create melodies on the fly, if you will. And this is a learned thing, okay? I'm going to be showing you all this week how to do it, and we're going to be actually doing it in real time. So not only am I going to tell you, okay, since we're in this key, these are the notes that we might use, etc., here's how to do it. And we're going to use what's called call and response. We did this yesterday. We had a blast. Folks, we're learning all sorts of bits and pieces, okay? And the way you do it is you just get involved, right? If you want to build a house and you're like, well, I've never used a hammer before. Well, you're going to be using a hammer today because here's a piece of wood. You got to drive these nails in, go. And when you have that sort of pressure, man, that's when you learn stuff, okay? Here's the cool thing. No one's going to get hurt if you mess up. No one's going to die if you hit a wrong note. And it's just a learning process. So we're gonna have fun with this. This is why they call it playing guitar. It's because we're playing, okay? Even though it does require some energy, some work, some mental fortitude, diligence, and being able to move beyond your frustrations and stuff like that, and also a belief that you can do this, okay? But like literally just now, I was with Mike and I was interviewing Cameron James, who's a producer, songwriter here in Nashville. And we were talking about that exact same thing. It's just like you have to point yourself in that direction of wherever it is that you want to go to. And then you have to learn the bits and pieces, but it doesn't just happen on day one. It's never happened that way for anybody in any subject, let alone guitar or economics or piano or soccer or anything. No great ever just tripped into greatness. It's not the way it works. You work diligently for it, okay? So these are the things that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be learning these things, and we're going to be doing them in real time, all right? Are you excited? Because I am. We had so much fun yesterday doing this, all right? Okay. Now, yesterday we did a lot of playing to, well, we did some A blues, some A pentatonic, and we did some B blues or B pentatonic, minor blues is what we did. We talked about the major blues, and there's so much that we can look at. Right now I'm just trying to think exactly where I want to guide you. Usually when we're doing call and response, it's good to have something very basic going on because you want that, you want the phrases to work over the chords that you're using, okay? So one thing that I thought that we could do today is we could work with the different sounds of major and minor, okay? So this would be vamping on one chord, and then you're going to see where we'll use the same exact scale for both major and minor. We'll use, say, like A minor, C major, and I'll discuss the idea of relative major and minor and how that's going to change, even though we're using the same scale, how it is that we're going to be using that scale differently, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about. Cool? All right. Now, before we get started, friends, do me a couple of favors here, if you would. If you have not already, give this video a thumbs up. I see 109 of you have done this already, but there's 362 folks in here right now, 375 actually. So let's bump that number closer to like 375 right now, if you would, please. That would be really kind. That would be showing me that you do appreciate the fact that it's not just me here, but it's my staff here. So Jason's here, Mike's here, Emmy's here, and yes, I really do pay them. So indeed, we're keeping, we're doing this out of our love for educating folks and getting them into this. So what you could do is like that. That would be a kind gesture on your part. Thank you so much. For those that did it, thank you. Now, another thing that you can do is you can share this video. So there's a share button. Please share that with some folks so that they can know too what it is that we're trying to do here today. Subscribe, notification bell right underneath that. Him, thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate that. Beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about this idea of relative major and minor. So I've said it before. Do I have my old thing here? Yeah. I'm going to have to probably erase something off of here, but that's okay. Let's talk about this for just one moment. Relative major and minor. It's important. We talked about it a whole bunch, over the last 2 months. Dear Lord, we've been doing this for 2 months, friends. Can you believe that? I counted it up the other day. The 30-day challenge was 60 hours of live, and then we're going to do 10 hours of live this week, and we did 10 hours of live last week, and then we did the week before the 30-day challenge, I think we did 10 hours, 10 or maybe it was 14 hours, and then we did a week before that, and we did interviews and all sorts. So we've been kind of crazy busy here, and but one of the things that we did talk about is we talked about relative major and minor as it relates to diatonic harmony, which, friends, it's everything, okay? Literally everything. 99% of the music that you listen to and love is centered around diatonic harmony. And it's just harmony that is based off of the major scale. That's it, okay? That's all it is. But with that, right? With that, we've got, this is our major scale, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and then 8 would be do, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Cool, you got that. And the green chords are major, the red chords are minor, and the 7 chord is diminished. And we talked about this a bunch last week because we were learning songs by ear. And this structure is everything, okay? But with chords, yes, indeed. But then also, when we're talking about melodies, and this is a simpler version of it, that's the scale right there. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If we wanted the pentatonic scale only, we would just take out the 4 and the 7. You take out the 4 and the 7, so the scale goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, okay? 4 and 7 come out, that's known as the pentatonic scale. But Eric, why? Because it's the pentatonic scale and it's the 5-note scale, so there's 2 notes that are gone, okay? And it's not just randomly any 2 notes, it's just those 2 notes. It's a more stable scale, if you will. Very, very stable. White Rabbit, thank you so much for the super kind donation. Thanks for all you do, White Rabbit said. And I truly appreciate that. Thank you, White Rabbit. You're so welcome. I love doing it. I truly love doing it. So in the same way, we've got this scale that matches our chords. We also just have the notes. Now, I mentioned to you that we either have a tonal center of major or we have a tonal center of minor, and that makes up 99.99999% of all the music that you've ever heard or ever will hear, unless something crazy changes and all of a sudden music is not what it used to be. And I mean, it would have to massively change, not what you think is changing, like going from old school blues to EDM or something like that. I'm saying it'd have to be really, really different, because EDM and blues, old school blues, all fit into this realm here. So does jazz and classical and everything else that you've ever heard. Okay, now, so really we have two tonal centers. We have a major tonal center or a minor tonal center. And basically what it means is for every major key, there's a related minor key, and for every minor key, there's a related major key. And the only thing that means is this. It means that they share the same sets of notes, the same sets of chords, but they are emphasizing a different side of, how can I say this? They're basically emphasizing a different note, okay? In the same way that two people who don't agree on a particular subject are probably going to use the same words, the same definitions, the same nomenclature, maybe not the same definitions, but the same nomenclature, the same words, right? Whatever it is, you could pick any debate, any hot debate out there right now. Let's not even talk about it because I don't even want that energy in here. We're here to be happy. But imagine in a world where other people got heated about certain things, political or otherwise. One person's going to be taking it from this standpoint, and one person's going to be taking it from this standpoint. Literally, don't do it in this chat. I know you want to badly, but don't. But literally in this chat right now, we would have people divided about all sorts of things. But music brings us together, where we're just like, let's forget about all that stuff. Let's focus on stuff that we're into together. But we could take any subject. One person's going to have this view, other person's going to have this view. They're talking about the same subject, and they got the same words, etc., etc. That is major and minor, okay? Michael, thank you. That is major and minor in a nutshell. You could think about it like this. Here is the key of C major, and it has a C major, an A minor, an F, and a G. And if I took this chord progression and I played it like C major, so I play a C, A minor, F, G, right? If I did that, it's in the key of C because it starts on a C and it just has that feel of C major. Now, with that being said, we could take the same chords and I could do something like, let's see, I'm going to leave out the C. I'm just going to play A minor, a form of the F. It's really an F with an A in the bass. Doesn't matter, it's the same chords, and a G. So I'm leaving out the C. So now, this is actually a song that I wrote many years ago. Rich, thank you for the donation, my friend. Super kind. Good, I'm so glad they're helping. Now, if we listen to this is in the key of A minor. A minor, F with an A in the bass, and G, okay? Now, why is that relevant? Because what I did just now is I used, for the first chord progression, I used the 1, 4, 5, minor 6, and for the second chord progression, I used a 6, 4, and a 5. Okay, I didn't play the 1. I just left one chord out. But nonetheless, because of that, it was weighted towards a minor key, and you could hear it was very sobering sounding. It wasn't the pop sensation of the summer with everybody running around on the beach in their bikinis. It wasn't like that. But the first one was a little bit more major. And so, because I've been getting this question a lot in all my courses, can you explain what key means? Think about key as the mood of a song. Okay, it's the mood of a song. There are some very significant things that you could say that make it major, but for those of you that are like, I still don't know what you mean by describing all of this, what do you mean? Well, what I mean is, what's the vibe of the song? Is it major or is it minor? Is it sad or is it happy? Okay? Usually, minor key songs sound a little bit sadder. Major key songs sound happier. Dan, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. So kind. So does that make sense? So that's what we're going to be looking at today, is we're going to be looking at this idea of major and minor and when to use what. Okay. So now I had the question yesterday about this particular chord progression. Well, actually not chord progression. We were using A major. And someone said, well, why does the blues, which is a minor scale, the A minor blues, why does that work over this? And it's a great question. First, let me just do a little something here. Let me just go that works. Let's do a better one here. One more time. Richie Rich, thanks so much for the kind donation. I so appreciate it, friend. Thank you. All right, so right there is an A major chord. Oh no, we wanted to do C major, didn't we? Okay, I take that back. I take it back. Here we go. Watch this. All right, so what about this? If we play the C major scale, this is a C major chord. If we play the C major scale over it, you'll hear that every single note resonates with it. Now, what do you mean resonate? Well, in the same way that if I'm in a really good mood and somebody comes around me who's in a really bad mood, I'm not going to resonate with them. I'm going to be like, dude's harshing my vibe, right? But if I'm in a sad mood and somebody else is sad, I might be, yeah, life sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it sucks. But if they're in a happy mood, right, and I'm in a happy mood, then chances are we're going to resonate. So that's what we mean. Technically, what we're talking about is we're talking about notes that actually harmonically and mathematically fit together, geometrically, if you will, okay? You could analyze that. We're not going to do that. It's going down too far down the rabbit hole. Come on, Tux, jump up here, buddy. But suffice to say, the chord that we're playing and the notes that we're playing, without you having got into the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, which is the third link below, without you actually taking the energy to do that, to go through that free course that I've painstakingly created for you. Don't feel guilty that you hadn't done it yet, but you know, whatever. Seriously, go through that course, okay? But assuming that you have or you have not, we can't go down that rabbit hole because it's going to take too much time. Let's say, though, that the major scale and the major chord that we're using here, that those notes resonate in the way that music resonates. Once you know a little bit more about music, then this will make sense to you, okay? Here you go. So here's G major. Now, if I play the C major, if I play the C major scale over the top of it, listen. C sharp, it wouldn't sound so good because it doesn't resonate because it ain't in the same key. Listen. Some notes do. That one sounds terrible. That one sounds good because it's in the key. But when we're talking about within scales or within chords, all the notes have to be in. Otherwise, you're going to be playing and it's going to be a really sour note. Make sense? So we're playing in the key of C major. We're playing the C major scale. Boom, bango, bingo, bango. No matter what you do, it's going to sound pretty good. Now, that brings most people up to where they are in their playing. They say, hey, Eric, I find out what the key is, then I play that particular scale over the top of that key. But dude, it doesn't sound good. What's up with that? You know? Why is that? Well, because for the same reason that a child needs to learn how to phrase, Mommy, 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 I gotta go potty. You're gonna put that kid on a potty real quick because he said it with the right emphasis and said it in the right place and everything else, right? So you know what to do. But you just playing through your scales like this, you just doing this and wondering why it doesn't sound like a solo, it's because you ain't playing a solo. You playing a scale, right? Which I have a video that says on YouTube, it's something about you're playing your scales wrong. It's not you're playing the scales wrong per se, but if you want to solo, you're playing them wrong. So what we want to do is we want to play in phrases. And although I love the major scale, you know me, I love it. I think that the pentatonic scale is a perfect first tool to use when you're learning how to solo, because it's sparse. There's only 5 notes instead of 7, so you're not going to get tripped up. You don't have to keep up with as much inventory, right? And those notes resonate better. They are just easier. They're safer notes, okay? So probably good to start with the safer stuff in the beginning when you don't know what the heck you're doing, right? Almost cussed. Because I get excited and I cuss sometimes, so sorry. Make sense? Okay, so let's keep it real simple. What we're going to do is we're going to play C major pentatonic. So we need to learn how to phrase, right? Just like the same way, you know, the kid phrases things in the right way. If you just hand him a dictionary and he has all the words there but doesn't know the context or the syntax or how they should be assembled, then what good is knowing all those notes? What good is knowing all the scales if you don't know how to phrase, right? And literally, the way we learn to phrase is the exact same way that we learn to speak. We learn with emphasis, we learn with dynamics, we learn with, I should say we're using dynamics, we use context, we use all sorts of bits and pieces, tone, right? If we say, must be nice, we know that that doesn't mean, oh, that must be nice. Oh, that must be nice. I mean, literally, just the way that I say that, 3 different ways mean 3 different things. How about that? Same thing with the guitar. We have tone, we have all different things that we can use to evoke emotion that's within us, okay? So, we're going to take the major pentatonic scale today. And folks that have liked this already, thank you so much. And for those folks that have shared it, thank you. Special blessing on you. We're almost up to 500 folks. Thank you, thank you. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using the major pentatonic for this C major chord right now. And it looks like this, okay? You guys know it. You love it, right? It goes like this. Starting from the 5th fret, okay? It's going to go like this. Is A minor pentatonic or C major pentatonic? It's the same scale. It's just that we're starting and stopping on a different note. So, but we could start on the A and end on the A and it still be C major. We still could do that, but for the sake of actually playing the scale, we usually start on the actual tonic note. But you know the A minor pentatonic, it looks like this. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. You know that one, right? Let's do that again. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. I'll wait for you. 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay, so you could think that the 2 E strings are 5, 8, 5, 8, and then the B string is 5, 8. The other strings are 5, 7. So one last time. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Cool? Yeah. All right, so same thing is true with the C major pentatonic, except we start on the C. So in this case here, I just play the 8. 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay. Normally when we play a scale, we play it from octave to octave, and I should have played the A from A to A, so like, that's the way I should have done it, and the C would have been. Make sense? Kenneth, thank you for the donation, my friend. Super kind, super sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. All right, and we're well over 500. Beautiful. 600 is the next stop, shall we? Okay, makes sense? Same scale. And now what we're going to do is we're going to emphasize the C. Here are the C's. Right here. The 8th fret of the 6th string. The 8th fret of the 1st string. and the 5th fret of the 3rd string. Okay, those are all C's. Now, why is that important? Well, because if you and I are talking about cars and you start talking about birds, which I love birds, but if you start talking about birds and manta rays and sandwiches, and we were just talking about cars, then I'm going to think you're a weirdo. So when we have a discussion, we have a subject. And if you don't stick to that subject, then people are going to think you're weird, okay? People think I'm weird enough, you know? Wow! Thank you so much for the kind donation from 4tinge66. Wow, $50. Thank you so much. Wow, that is amazing. So, so kind. Keeping the lights on. Thank you. Wow, beautiful. All right, so we got to stick to the subject, in this case in the key of C. It also is something that we probably would want to mention a lot. So if we're talking about cars, we probably would say the word cars or something associated to the word car, in this case the key, and that's the way we're going to talk, okay? So in this case here, even though we're playing the same scale, it's very, 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 very important for you to know that if we're in the key of C, the C is the note that we're going to oftentimes end our phrases on, and oftentimes maybe even start the phrase on. But nonetheless, it's a note that we rest on. So let me give you an example here. Here's our C. And so any notes that I play might sound good when I rest on that note. C. C. Okay. I could do the same thing down here. C. Okay, that's all we're doing is we're playing the same form, but we're sticking right there in that scale. Now, just for kicks and gigs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an A minor chord and show you that we're going to use the same exact scale, but we can't emphasize the same note. Can't do it. If we do, it's not going to sound good. And you want to sound good, don't you? Yeah, that's why you're here. So let's try this. A minor now, right? So now, same scale. But we're not going to emphasize the C. Now we're emphasizing the A because that's the other tonal center, right? We were in this tonal center major. Now we're in this tonal center. We're using the same sets of notes, the same sets of scales. I know some of you still don't get this and don't believe me because you hadn't gone through that free course that I'm giving you, the 3rd link below, Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. You got to get in there for this stuff to make sense, okay? If it doesn't make sense, you're doing it the hard way. Okay, don't do it the hard way. Here's A minor pentatonic. So we can go. A, these are all A's. All these A's that I'm resting on. I can rest on it forever. Sounds good. But if I go like this, if I go, sounds good, but it wants to resolve. Make sense? Makes sense? Okay, light bulbs are going on. Did that, okay, only if that made a light bulb come on right now, either give me a light bulb or give me a yes, if just now the lights went on, okay? If just now the lights went on in regards to that, okay? I know some of you had this already, but I'd love to see if there were some new people that just came and got this, okay? Good. Beautiful. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. Woo! Woo! All right. Passing notes, but always home. Go home. Yeah, you can use passing notes indeed. Yeah. Okay, good. Lots of lights coming on. Okay. Good, 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 good. Yeah, that makes me happy. Okay, so now let's do it. Ready? Now what we're going to do again is we're going to do some call and response. You have your guitar tuned up. Yeah? If so, here we go. We're going to do this, okay? Now this is minor. It's minor blues or minor pentatonic, but we're going to do this phrasing together. So I'm going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like this. 3, 4, 5. Bum, 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 bum. Again. Yeah. Also do this, you could go like this, sliding up to that A, right? Here's a bend. There we go. Here we go, bend. My bends aren't good. You haven't practiced them enough. That's okay. Just keep practicing. It's the only thing that will make it work. The only thing. There is nothing else. No guitar teacher will help you with that. Practice. Practice. Do it just what I did. Okay. Now I'm on strings, I'm on frets 5 and 7 on strings 3 and 4. Okay. Here we go. Don't play that bad, man. Here we go. Okay, let's get a little bit more fun here, right? Five notes out of the A major. Gary, 5 notes. We're doing pentatonic, C major pentatonic. Same 5 notes out of the, yes, out of the C major pentatonic or A minor. Again. You should be copying exactly what I'm doing, or for advanced players, do something else, okay? All right, I gotta stop this for a minute because someone just donated $50. Wendy, Canada, thank you so much. So kind. Good. Relative major and minor. Good. Okay, so you guys are getting this. Such an awesome lesson. Okay, beautiful. Nancy's getting it. You guys are getting this then, right? I know it sounds monotonous, right? Oh no, thank you for the donation, bud. Just received some snarling dog pics. Love them. Feel like they're part of my hand. I know, I've got mine sitting right here. I love them. If you're an acoustic player and you're would like a pick that doesn't fly out of your hands, you know my remedy for that. Carry the pick with you everywhere and get accustomed to using it. But these snarling dog, they're called snarling dogs, brain picks. And it literally says the word brain on it. But it has this like grit on it. They're like little indentations or something. They're awesome. And it really sticks in your hand. It's awesome. Okay, I know this is monotonous, but once you get, look, if you are feeling like this is monotonous, that means you're getting it. Okay? So that's good. If you're feeling like, oh man, this is getting monotonous, these are boring lines, that means you're getting it. That's good. That's success, okay? Then we're on our way. Then we can get crazier. But nonetheless, right now, what we're doing is we're just trying to get phrasing going, and you will be so surprised at how simple blues can be and still sound great if you play the right notes, okay? Here we go. You don't have to play the exact same thing. Try to play the rhythm of it at least. It'll sound good. Because you're playing in the key. If you're using the same notes, it'll sound good. Did a little walk up here. Good, Gary's getting it. Good. Now we can do double stops on this bend as well. Yes, Frog, I play the bass. Got a double stop there, right? Okay, make sense? Making sense to you? Okay. Yes, soloing does apply to text as does apply to acoustic as well. You can solo with it as well. Yes, no problem. Good. Yay! All right, folks are getting this. The lights are turning on. All right. Now, so we did this for C, we did this for A, and you can see we're using the same scale. Guess what? This works for every major and every minor key. There's always a relative major to every minor key. There's always a relative minor to every major key. Always, every single time, every single major scale, every single minor scale, from the beginning of time to the end of time, amen, it will always be done, right? Okay, makes sense? And if you want to find the distance, which one's which, the major's the note on the top, and then you go down 3/2 steps, you'll find your related minor, 3/2 steps down. If you're in a minor key, 3/2 steps up will get you in the related major. You can do this with any key. It's cool, okay? All right, so now, someone said yesterday, and I want to address it. Someone said, hey, Eric, why is it that the blues uses the minor pentatonic or the minor blues, but it's a major chord? What? Number one, great observation, because guess what? I definitely moved to Nashville before I put 2 and 2 together with that, where I was like, wait a minute, why should that work? Because me growing up, I always played my blues over minor chord progressions. I wasn't playing them over basic 12-bar blues. I was doing it. I was listening to Iron Maiden and Ozzy Osbourne and guys like that who were using the pentatonic in a minor way. They were using the blues scale in a minor way. And they didn't have the option to play major blues, okay? So because of that, that was so ingrained into the way that I do things that I really guess I hadn't thought about it. But then one day I was sitting there with a 12-bar blues chord progression, which is all major chords, right? A7, D7, E7, like what I'll play here sometimes. A 1-7, 4-7, 5-7. And I was like, wait a minute, these are major chords and I'm playing a minor scale over the top of it. Because the minor pentatonic scale is a minor scale because it has the flatted third right here. A minor pentatonic sounds like this. A major pentatonic sounds like this. Can you hear the difference? A minor pentatonic sounds like this. Yeah? Makes sense, right? Cool. So, no, the question still is out there. Why does that work over this? Here's why. Because that is the blues sound. That's the best answer I could come up with. Because when I went to John Pell, who is like the guy in Nashville who taught Dan Huff and like all these great players, like he's the dude at Belmont University where I went to college, where all these great players from around the world would come to become greater players. That's who they took lessons from, was John Pell, and he's a personal friend of mine, played my wedding, amazing dude, so kind, and an amazing guitar player. And I was sitting down with him one time, and he was showing me some stuff. I was taking lessons with him, and I said, John, why does this work? And he said, Eric, it's the darndest thing. It shouldn't work. He says, but it does. And it's what gives the blues sound. Because if we have this, right? Let me do something here. Let me do here we go. Here we go. Dear Lord, what's up with me today? Let's just do I'll do a real simple one here. Right, we got that first chord there's major. But why? Why does that pentatonic scale work over the top of it? Listen. So why does that work? There's no explanation, really. That minor collides with the major note. That's the major note. That's the major note out of the major chord, but this is the minor note. It shouldn't work, but it does, and a lot of times we bend that note. That sort of thing. Skeleton, I'm using the Kemper looper. That's what I'm using right now. So a lot of times we bend that note, and that's what gives it that bluesy sound. Okay, so, but because of that, we can also use some of those major notes in there. So a lot of people don't think about this. They want to start dabbling into some major blues. It's at least add the major third of the first chord there into what it is that you're doing. So for instance, instead of playing this, right? Instead of this, play, right? So like this. So right there, I played that note. I hammered 5 to 6, and that works really nice over that A chord. You could do it there. That's also it right there. So instead of this, the minor, you can play major, right? But do it over the A chord to start. It's going to get you more in the realm of playing major blues. You could also, I think I've showed you the BB box yesterday. We're using a 6 and a major 2, major 6, major 2. Now all of a sudden we're starting to bring in some notes from the blues scale. From the major scale, which is going to make it sound a little bit more up, a little bit more major, a little bit happier. Okay, all right. It works because it sounds good. There are certain things that you can't get in the way. God, I'm watching this series right now. Here we go, rabbit hole. I'm watching this series on Gaia right now, which, by the way, if you're that kind of mindset that you know that there's other stuff going on out in the world and within and what have you, Gaia TV is a great bit there. But one of the things, God, did I lose my train of thought? I think I did. Yeah, lucky for you. But something that somebody said here. Oh, it works because it sounds good. They were talking about basically how scientific materialism, which is like, well, if we can prove it, then it exists. That old school thought that many still are stuck in. But it's like, I'll believe it when I can explain it. Really? Because you can't explain gravity. You go, yeah, it works, okay? But you ain't gonna step off the side of a cliff, but you can't explain gravity. So that's one example of ridiculousness of the fact that we're separating materialism from the spiritual when in fact they are together. How that relates to music is that, why does it work? Man, it works. It works, even though it says it shouldn't. So just like science says, well, this shouldn't work. That doesn't work. It's like, I don't care what you say anymore. It works, right? That's why the mystics and the Indians and the Asians have been doing stuff for tens of thousands of years, and now the scientists are going into the labs and going, daggone it, this meditation works. It's changing brains. Oh, great. We needed your blessing. Yeah, thanks. Anyhow, I digress. But it's true. It's really important to understand that music is, yes, there's some mechanics to it. We need to understand the theory part of it, but then also we need to understand that there's another bit there, right? How do you explain? I mean, I know the mechanics of a scale and a chord and what have you, and they should go together, but what explains the fact that I played one thing over another? There's got to be a bit of something else going on there, right? Good. Okay. Somebody's asking, how do you do double stops? So double stops are when we play two notes at once, okay? So for instance, okay, that sort of thing. Two notes at a time, all right? Good. Here we go. Let's get into some questions, shall we? The theory of everything, yes. Indeed. You're talking my language now. How do we know what other scales we can use while improvising in some key? Example, if we're improving in the A minor blues key, what other scales can we use so it doesn't sound like boring? Arnav, people don't like when I answer this way because it's the truth and it bothers people. The truth bothers people because they always want something else. Nah, I don't want to lose weight. I don't want to stop. I don't want to change my habits. Just give me something else to do. Arniv, this is the deal. Don't seek out other scales. It's not other scales you're looking for. You're looking to take what it is that you're saying and make it sound intelligent. So do the work and learn to make the simple stuff sound intelligent. There's not a magic scale where all of a sudden you start playing it and all the pieces come together. Doesn't exist, never will. It has to do with just knowing the notes that are necessary and playing those notes. That being said, if you want me to answer that in the way that you wanted me to answer it, I'll say, if it's a minor chord that's being played, then you can technically play any minor scale over it. Be that Aeolian, also known as the minor scale, harmonic minor, melodic minor, minor pentatonic, Dorian. Like, you can use these other scales. There's a caveat to there, though. I mean, the chord has to match the scale. Just because it's minor doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to match, but most often that's the note that bothers people if you're playing a major chord over a minor chord progression or vice versa. A minor scale over a major chord progression, that sort of thing. Makes sense? But trust me when I say, get good at the pentatonic, get good at it in one form, and don't look to other scales, because what you're doing is you're distracting yourself. Have you ever said, man, I'm going to change my life today, and the first thing you do is you start tidying up your desk, right? Because that's something you definitely can do, instead of actually putting the cigarette down or spending time with your children. Or I'm just throwing these out here. Obviously, I don't know you, so I don't know what you're going through or anybody else. I'm just saying, oftentimes we do the things that are easy that we can do right now, like clean our desk, which is BS. We can clean our desk anytime. How about doing the thing that we really know that's going to move us forward in life, like putting the cigarette down, putting the drink down, practicing more, spending more time with our kids, going to the doctor, doing whatever, changing our diets, right? We constantly are looking for this other thing. Doesn't exist. All right. Skeletor, I answered that one. I'm using the Kemper. I'm using the Kemper amp. That's what I'm using for my looper. What is the purpose of this large and uproarious gathering? Alvin, welcome, friend. We're learning how to solo. That's what we are doing, my friend. Okay, Ronnie is saying, why is it called the minor A? Why is it called blues A minor when it starts on a major? Okay, so Ronnie, I'm guessing you have not been through the Unstoppable Guitar System standard, because the way that you said that, there's some things missing in what you actually said. So literally, just the way that you said that, we can't communicate about it because it's not being said right. It's totally fine, but because you're saying when it starts on a major, there is no starting on a major, unless you're talking about a major chord, right? But why is it called the blues A minor? Well, the blues A minor scale could be the A minor blues scale, but in that case it's the A minor blues scale, so I'm not sure what you mean. There's some pieces missing there, but I want to get it answered, so if you could shore that up a little bit, that'd be great. Can you show a good fingering workout? Paul, St. Jane. Paul, do exercise number 1. And it's 24 variations that I have for you in a PDF. That's included in the free course that I give you, along with a load of other PDFs that are going to guide you and help you to understand the guitar so that you're not lost anymore. It's the 3rd link below, okay? Adrian, oh, thank you, my friend. Today I've posted a cover for River Flows in You. Feel so proud to learn this beautiful song. Thanks for your help and free lessons you do every day. Beautiful, Adrienne, and thank you so much for this super kind message. Beautiful. Okay. Any tips on how to improve speed and accuracy? Improve your accuracy. Practice more. That's my tip. That's the only tip. Anything else I would tell you would distract you from the actual thing you need to do, which is practice whatever specific thing that you're not doing well at. Practice that a lot. So practice whatever it is that you're not good at with repetition and focus. Don't worry about speed. Speed is a byproduct of how good you are, of how accurate you are. Speed never happens before accuracy, and you can't force speed. It's just something that happens because you earned it, because you did it enough times. I know that's not a popular answer, but any other answer is a lie, and I don't want to lie to you. How to enter your free course. The third link below, number 3, below this video. If you click on it, it will get you there, my friend. Paul, thanks, my friend. Are you going to sell Gazebo Erection t-shirts? I should, right? What a great band name. Paul, thank you so much, bud. So kind. How can I make the pentatonic sound good? Alan, you've come to the right place. That's all what we're doing today, is making the pentatonic sound good, you know. If you were playing in G, major would start in A. That right? No, hardcore metal. It would not. If you're playing in G, the G major scale would start on G. So if you're in G, it would be G major scale. If it's an A, it'd be A major. C, C major. Hardcore. Check out the third link below. Get in there. Get that understanding. I too grew up hardcore metal. So, but you need this knowledge even when you're playing metal. I mean, you got to have this. Third link below is going to get you there. Okay, is it wise to bar fret 5 and hammer the other pentatonic notes from the 7th and 8? John, you can, but like you're kind of doing more work than you really need to. You know what I'm saying? You're doing more work than you actually need to. All right, a couple other questions, and then we'll keep on going here, okay? How do you practice improv, as in exercises, and how to mix major and minor pentatonic scale together? Tom, get the basics. Start in the free course. You gotta understand the basics of music. If you don't, you will be forever lost at sea. It's just, you gotta know that stuff. No other way that I can say it. And then how do you practice improv? Exactly what we're doing here. Get a looper or get a jam track off of YouTube. Play a pentatonic scale that matches that in the same key over that jam track or over that loop, and do it until it starts sounding good. Good enough to where you're like, okay, this is where I want to be. When linking pentatonic shapes, is there a preferred section to slide into an adjacent box? No, William, it's completely subjective. It's whatever you desire. Okay, good. Beautiful, Dan. Love it, love it, love it that you're getting that. Okay, excellent. All right, excellent. All right, shall we continue, or do you want to do questions? I tell you what, if you want to do questions, say yes. If you want to do more improvisation, say no. Yes for more questions, no for more improvisation. I'm getting my water. I'm gonna come back and look at those results real quick. All right. Yes, for more questions and for more playing. The no's are outweighing the yeses. All right. We can do questions. They're saying we can do questions anytime. There's one guy out there who's like, but I said yes. I know, but look at how many no's there are. A lot more no's. Okay. Here we go. All right, so now, let's do this. Let's go, this. All right, so now, what key do you think we're in? Anybody have a guess what key we're in just now, that thing that I just played? Let's see. See if you guys can get this by ear. Thank you, Toadlick. A few people close. It's in D minor. D minor. Amber got it. Okay, we got a few D's there. So So it says we're in D minor, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna play D minor pentatonic. Now, just like we did A minor pentatonic here at the 5th fret, only thing we need to do is slide it up. This is the cool thing about the guitar, is that when you know one scale, you know 12 scales. Because you can play it up and down the neck and all the different keys. What? Yeah. I wish I had invented it, but I didn't. It's just the guitar. So here we go. We're sliding this guy up to the 10th fret. Now we're playing D minor pentatonic. If it were here, it would be major. That's major, but we're playing minor. Okay, so now what might this sound like? Okay, now what I'm going to do is just use form 1 of the D minor blues scale. D pentatonic looks like this. I'm on the 10th fret, and I'm using fingers 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Just like down here, right? I'll do it again. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Make sense? Okay, here we go. Now, if we want to make that blues, we just need to add the blue note, and it's going to go like this. Okay? It's going to go like that. So now, I'm just going to use form 1 of the D minor blues scale, the one that I just showed you, and let's see what we can do with it, and then we're going to work together, okay? So I'm just kind of having some fun there. I'm just improvising. So like that would be an example of the whole material and the whole spiritual thing, because it's kind of like, I didn't know what I was going to play there, right? Like, where did that come from? But obviously I've got the mechanics of it. I know that I'm in D minor, right? So that's the mechanics and material part of it, right? But then there's something else that's happening there too. And I can tell you, one night I feel better than another night about my own playing. Make sense? All right, so let's see if we can break this down to where we can do some call and response here for you. So let's see. Maybe I'll do a different position here too. I'm throwing a curveball at you here. Hold on here. Let's see. Okay. We're going to do 2 measures apiece, just like we did before. 2 measures apiece, okay? Now, I'm going to also show you a new form. So even though we did this, what we're going to do is we're going to take that same form and we're going to start on this note. Well, I won't play that other note. I'll walk you through this. I'm gonna walk you through that. Let me see. I don't know. I'm scared to bring you there. You guys ready for this? Let's do this. Let's stick to the old standard, the old form 1. I may bring you to form 2 here. We got time. We got time. Let's do form 1, and then we'll come to this other form. Okay? I know someone's saying do it. We will. Let's do form 1 first. Let's get familiar with that. Okay? Okay. So here we are. First finger's at the 10th fret. Okay? 10th fret, and we got our pentatonic scale. Blues scale, I should say. Okay? Here we go. I'm gonna play 2 measures. You're gonna play 2 measures. So it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ready? Go. Here we go. Feel free to embellish what I'm doing right here. Good, here we go. Just adding more. Threw in a double stop there. Here we go. Here we go. I bet it sounded good for you guys, yeah? Here we go. Gotta do the face too. Watch. Gotta do it. Gotta copy it. The lick exactly. This is minor, tutor. It's minor. We're in D minor, okay? Good. Let's keep going, all right? Now, you'll notice that what I'll do is I'll take something very simple, right? I'll take something very simple, and then I'll embellish, and that's what we're going to do here, okay? So let me come up with something here. We'll start real simply, and then we'll keep going with that, okay? So now, for some of you that are on the acoustic, let me think here. tell you what we're gonna do. See, if I get into this range, I got folks on acoustic and now they're getting lost. So let's do this. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna do something new, okay? You can do the face. It just takes a little time. You know, kind of a pro at it. So it's gonna take you a little while. It's all right. I was born with this one, so it's a little bit easier for me. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna come down to the 5th position, okay? And remember, anything that we can play in one place on the guitar, almost everything we can play someplace else. So it's like this. Right? So what we're going to do is this. Now this is going to be a little tricky, but you have this right here. You have 8, 6 on the B string, 8, 6 on the B string, and 7, 5 on the G. So 8, 6, 7, 5. Be using that a lot. That's only 2 notes we're going to be using, only 4 notes we're going to be using. And I'm going to bend this. I might go. I might bend it going up. I might start with the bend and come down. Also, I bend this first finger a little bit. Bend it up. So you're going to hear that. It's very bluesy, okay? That's the only thing we're going to be doing is looking at these 2 right now. Cool? You ready to do this? Hey, friends, we're almost up to 600 folks. Do me a solid. Give me a solid. Here's what I want you to do. Give me a thumbs up, if you would. If you haven't already, give me a thumbs up. We're doing this. We're sitting here doing it. So you're just sitting here looking at the screen with my thumb up, and you still hadn't hit the thumbs up button. There you go. Thank you so much. So hit that thumb button. Hit that thumb button. Okay, we could get dangerous with that. Let's be careful what we say there. Just hit the thumb button. Thank you. Up and share this, and also I mean, you know what I mean. Like it is what I meant. I got all these thumbs up here. Like the video is what I meant. Share it. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying. All that stuff. Notification bell. Here we go. You ready? Okay. I'm going to get real close to you just for a second. So I'm shifting. That's our home base right there. That's a D. Look at all the juice right there. If I had 3 frets to choose from, I could do that all day long. Watch this. I could just noodle right here. So much right there, right? Wow, it's magical. So that's where we're gonna be working. You ready to do this? Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. I'm hammering. Whatever you want to do, because it's going to sound good if you're staying in the key. No foul, right? Yes, D minor, Robbie. we go. Yeah. Feeling awesome. All right, love it. We could play it like this. Nice and square. Or we could add those slides and those bends and those vibratos and make it sound all nice and yummy, right? We have, I mean, does this sound better? Or this? Right? Which one sounds better? Or, I mean, let me take my face out of it because that makes it better too, right? I couldn't help but do the face, but I had it off so you weren't distracted by it. That sounds better, right? Edwin likes the first one better. All right. You're probably a jazz player because jazz players don't like vibrato and they do everything just very straight. Maybe a jazz player there, Edwin. So, you can use the whammy bar, sure. Whamming bar, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, want to have some fun with this? Let's go. So add your hammer-ons, add your slides, whatever. It does not matter how you do this. You got to remember that I am just another artist. You are another artist, and you are another artist, and you're another artist, and you're another artist. All of you, all of us are artists. We're all creators. We are all creators, by the way. You can write, you can do all this stuff, maybe just not to the capacity that you think you would like to right now, but you can. It's an art, it's a craft, just like anything else, and you get good at it, okay? So, the more you do it. So, don't be afraid of embellishing what I'm doing here. Don't be afraid of adding more to it. Don't be afraid of instead of a slide, do a bend, or bend instead of a slide, or a hammer-on instead of a slide, or whatever it is you want to do. Do your thing. Try to stick to either something similar to what I'm doing if you want to stay, you know, in the realm. But if you're a more advanced player, go ahead and embellish on what I'm doing and say something completely new. Then now we're actually doing call and response, right? As opposed to call and copy, if you will. We're kind of doing this call and response thing, but you guys are technically copying what I'm doing right now, okay? Which is fine. This is what we're learning phrasing. That's how a child learns how to speak. This is the best way to do it, okay? Here we go. A nice repeating run is cool. Okay, good, beautiful. Let's keep going. Why we add the 6/8 string fret? Because that's in the key. That's the key of it. That's the key that we're in. So here we go. Good, Dolores. Yes. Okay, here's something new. Make it cry, right? Thank you so much, Dara Sweet. Sounds like Gilmore, right? You can sound like Gilmore. So I'm doing a pull off and a slide, but whatever works for you. It's different paints. You're learning phrasing right now, okay? All right, let's change it up a little bit. Everyone's got it. It does, yeah, your guitar is talking back to you. That's good. That's what we're looking for, right? Yeah. Here we go. Change. I got two bends there. Here we go. So what I do is I start off with the bend and I pick it down. So here we go. It's bent already. Make sense? Literally bending it beforehand, then I pick it so it comes down. Yeah, it'll sound good on acoustic too, indeed. Go down here now. That's just 5/7 on the two middle strings. 5/7, 5/7. We're landing on this D every time, aren't we? Yep. Thank you so much, Diane. So kind. Super kind. I gotta stop. Diane, thank you so much for the super kind donation, and the number is not lost on me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. 3333. Beautiful. Symmetry in numbers. Faux show. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Diane. Okay, you get what we're doing here? You know, somebody said, why the 6/8? Well, because that particular string, the B string, is tuned. So, you know, we tune our guitars to fourths. So if I play the scale, the major scale, up from E, 1, 2, 3, 4, then at A is the next string down. If I go on the A string and I pick and I go to a perfect fourth up, 1, 2, 3, 4, which by the way, this is the fourth scale step, right? The fourth scale step of the major scale, then that's my next string. And I do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my G. But with the B string is tuned down a half step, so it's a major third up. 1, 2, 3. Instead of the 4, it's the third. And then back to the fourth again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's because the B string is tuned down a half step. They did that centuries ago because they found out that they could play all their chords and everything a lot easier, scales and what have you, mainly chords, a lot easier if they tuned that string down a half step, okay? Okay. Yes, indeed. Indeed, Scott. Yep. Beautiful. Can we do in a minor? This is in a minor key. Okay. Vibe with me, Moen. Vibe with me. Let's keep doing this. All right. Cincinnati Kid. Seriously, we're learning how to tune the damn guitar. Cincinnati Kid comes in for 2 seconds. Fist flying. Really, we're learning how to tune the guitar? Assuming. Cincinnati Kid. Do more listening. Do more listening. Watch. We're learning how to solo. But we had to talk about theory for a second. I'm sorry if that harshes your vibe, bruh. Go back to gaming unless you're serious about guitar. Otherwise, we'll see you. All right, here we go. Ready? C pattern of the cage system, right? Yeah, you can use that. Yeah, for sure. Can we do in A minor key? Yeah, you can. Well, not in A minor because we're in D minor. So you can't do that. All right, so. I love this form in particular. form, I love this form, and I love going up there. That one's a fun one too. Okay, let's see where you guys are at with all this. How are you guys, how are you with all this, right? Oh, someone was asking about the chords. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing like a A minor, and I'm kind of, okay, you know, I'm hammering from just an open bar for that vibe, and then I'm doing this walk down. It's not crazy difficult, but it's too much to talk about. But essentially, but basically, I'm vamping on a D minor chord. Okay. Okay, is one scale per key, or should you change the scale when chord changing? Get this question a ton, and it's a great question, and it's a legitimate question. And so here's my philosophy on this. Get good at one scale over a chord progression. Until you do that, there's no way in heck you're going to keep up with every chord. That being said, unless the chord goes outside of diatonic harmony, there is not only is there not a need to go to a different scale, but it's going to sound kooky if you do. Does that make sense? It's like, this is the conversation right here, these chords. And so if we're sticking to this, then the scale is going to work perfectly over this, and there's no need to go to another scale. Not only is there no need, if you go to another scale, now you're playing something outside of this. So the only reason that you would really play any other tone out of a scale, I shouldn't say the only reason, but the main reason that you would want to do it, I'm saying that as a caveat because I don't know. There may be another reason that I'm just not thinking of, but the main reason that you would do that is playing at different scales. You want to bring a different flavor in. You don't want to bring another flavor in unless there's a new flavored chord coming up and you want to match that chord. Eric, give me an example. Okay, I will. So for instance, if I went like this, if I did this like, this is a really cool chord progression, like an E minor. Well, sorry. Here we go. Just a real simple chord progression in the key of E minor. And in fact, I'm going to do a little something differently with this one. Let me think what I want to do with this. E minor, A minor. Yeah, let's do that. E minor, A minor, B7, okay? Now this is in E minor, but watch this. We went to an E minor, And then we went a fourth above that, so we went to the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We went to the 3 minor, which is the A minor, okay? And hold on, let me think about this. Is that correct? No, we went to the 2 minor. Doesn't matter. It's minor. And then we went to the 3, which was a B, which should be a minor chord, right? According to diatonic harmony. But what I did is I played it as a 7th chord, which happens a lot of times in spaghetti western, just in minor songs. It happens a lot of times that people would have put a major 3 there. Well, since that chord falls outside of our bit here, it's saying, hey, everybody, hey, everybody who's listening right now, I'm talking to you, hey, I'm a different chord, I don't belong, but I sound good, but you need to treat me special, is basically what it says. And so what does that mean? Well, if it's not minor, then if you use the minor note out of that chord on a major chord, it's not going to sound good. And in this case, if it's a major chord and you're using the minor note, then that's not going to sound good either. So if I'm putting an E, or in this case here, a B major chord there, it's a B7 actually. Yeah, it's a borrowed chord, Gary. Yes, good job. It's a borrowed chord. If that's, you know, a B major, then it's not going to sound good if I play that minor note over it. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to stick real close. I'm just going to play I'm going to play minor pentatonic over it, but when that B7 chord comes up, and let's watch this. Watch this, okay? Let me show you. I've got to show you up close here. Here's an E minor chord. Right? And look, there's our pentatonic scale hidden in there. So these 2 fingers right here are played in the scale. And that's part of our chord there, right? And same thing with the A minor, right? Now we could throw that note in there and it would sound real nice over that A minor chord. So even if I'm playing just the pentatonic scale, that note right there, which is not in our pentatonic scale, it shows up for that chord, so I could bring it in. That being said, it really doesn't fall out of our 7 chords or our 7 melodies, right? Seven notes. But when I go to the B7 chord, look. That's a B7 chord. That note is not within the pentatonic scale, or the minor scale for that matter. Look. Even if we played the whole minor scale. But we have this note in there. Over that B7 chord, that little transitional chord, okay? And what's really important about this is that when that chord comes up, you either need to not play the minor part of that chord, or go ahead and emphasize and play the major part of that chord. It's gonna sound really cool. Watch, you're gonna hear me go to it, and I'm gonna overemphasize it so you get this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this note. Or if I'm playing up here, it's gonna look like this. Okay, and I'm going to tell you when I'm going to play it. Okay, and I'm only going to play it for that one chord. I'm tipping my hat to that chord. When it comes by, I'm saying, "How you doing, chord?" And it's saying, well, "I'm doing just fine, Eric. Thank you so much for noticing me." And that's what you want to do. Just like in a conversation, if someone shifts gears or they say, "Hold on, I got to take a call," you don't keep talking over them. You're like, "Got taking a phone call." And you wait a second, okay? And so in the same way, we need to move, we need to ebb and flow with the music. Watch this, okay? I'm gonna get close to the screen here, okay? Watch. There it is. It wouldn't sound good if I did it right now. Watch. That sounds like poo-poo, right? But it will sound good here. I could go up here too. Watch. They're there. Makes sense? So every now and then, this is for that person who asked, you know, should I go outside to play these other scales? Nope. That would be like us having multiple conversations. It's done a bit in jazz, okay? It can be done a bit in jazz. It can be done in other genres as well. But usually, you know, if you're talking about blues or you're talking about rock, you're talking about a certain sound, and much of that sound comes from the actual notes that are being played as opposed to the chords, or that are being played in relationship to the chords, okay? Okay, good, good, good. All right, questions? Let's do this. Let's do this. If you want me to continue on with the jam, say yes. If you want me to continue on with questions, say no. Yes for jamming, no for questions. Let me know what you think, okay? I like the jamming. I think you guys do too. All right. The ayes have it. Well, maybe we want to use that chord progression. Do we want to use that chord progression? No, let's do the other one. The other one was a... Lemuel says boring. Lemuel needs a video, probably needs to watch some booby girls or something on YouTube, or maybe some cat videos, maybe a video game. Maybe needs to watch someone playing a video game. That would be more fun. Do that, friend, as opposed to learning an instrument. Boring. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do D minor blues. Or, let's do this again, okay? Here we go. Are we gonna do something different on this? I tell you what, I'm gonna use strings 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, okay, for all of these licks, okay? I'm gonna go outside, adding another string. Here we go. Ready? Get your guitar ready. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. One more time, sorry, here we go. We're learning how to phrase like John Mayer. Someone just asked, can you teach that? That's what we're doing. It's blues. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, new. Start with a pre-bend. How could you make 3 notes sound great, right? Right there. Here we go. Again. Embellish it. Yep. All right. Makes sense? Making sense? Making sense. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so someone's saying, okay, Victoria's lost, but very relaxing. Okay, Victoria, you've probably just missed a little bit about what we're doing, so that's okay. So we're just using the D minor pentatonic, D minor blues, if you will, over a D minor chord progression here. And we're doing call and response. So I'm playing something, and then you are to repeat what I'm doing. So you probably missed just a little bit of this, okay? Is this for blues, jazz, improv on the guitar? Yes, indeed. If that's D box, 4 down, an octave, I think I've got it. All those notes seem to fit. Indeed, yeah. Are bends easier, more effective at a higher fret numbers? By that I mean more rangy with less movement of the string? No, they're about the same. But usually easier a little bit more in the center of the neck, or than down here, okay? Okay, now Moeen made a mistake and it sounded good, and that happens indeed, okay? So someone's saying, could I, at this stage in my playing, could I improvise over this for 2 minutes? Yeah, I improvise stuff over this for 2 hours. I'll just sit here and just come up with stuff. And what happens is great. It's kind of like if you were, let's say you just had a month off for some reason. You had a month off of work for some wacky reason, and you just like had free roam of your house. And alternate universe. But just say you did, and you're like, man, I've seen this room a whole bunch. I wonder if I've looked in every nook and cranny. And you look in every nook and cranny, and then you find a book, an old book, or you find something that you hadn't seen before, right? Or you go down to the garage because you've been home for 2 months, and you're like, oh, hey, there's that old thing, and whatever it is, because you were there long enough, okay? And so what I like to do with the chord progression like this is I'll just sit there and noodle over it and over it and over it, and then after a while I exhaust all my go-to ideas, and now I'm forced to come up with other stuff, so I'm not boring myself or boring the listener. So now that forces me to have to think about other stuff, okay? So I could give you an example of what I might do with this, and let me extend the chord progression a little bit too, since if we're going to try to do this here. Okay. I forgot my own song. Oh no, here we go. I gotta start from the top again. terrible loop. Absolutely terrible. One more time for the kids. I apologize. You could be playing with me though at the same time while I'm doing this, so just have some fun with this. Okay, so now I'll do a little improvising over this, and I'll tell you kind of the way that I would think. Usually I start off with form 1, you know, and then I might go to a different place after I exhaust some of those ideas, and then I may try to go someplace else that I'm more uncomfortable with, where I may make more mistakes, but I might find some things that I normally wouldn't find because I'm kind of noodling in a particular area that I normally wouldn't go to, okay? Okay, so here we go. And I usually would warm up to it. Like you're at a dinner party, you're not going to start off with some real deep conversation, just light talk, and eventually it'll get there, maybe. Go to a different part of the neck. So I could goof off with that a bit, you know. And so you just want to kind of get it out the stuff that you normally would say, and then you get to the place where you start getting out on a limb a bit, and then that's the place where the magic happens for the player, right? So if I was to go out on stage, I probably wouldn't go into areas that I'm unfamiliar with. I might toy around with them, but I would tread lightly, like I did just now. I was like, okay, I think I can go down here, and so I was like, oh yeah, that form, and starts, all the connectors start happening. You start going, okay, and that will happen for you too as you do this more and more. But yes, 100%. It's just a matter of the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Okay. All right. Somebody's saying Knopfler. Yeah, it could be Knopfler-esque. Yeah, for sure. All right. What other what questions do you got here? Paul, thank you so much. To buy new Themos. You need it. Themos? Thermos? Oh, a new thermos, right? I know. Look at this. It's terrible, right? Look at this. What the heck? used to have paint on. I know it looks so janky. It's like dents in it and stuff, and it's all jacked up. It's crazy. Not even my name on it. Okay, Paul, yes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Julia, all who wander are not lost. I'm with you, Julia. Come on. I was gonna do this with you, but I'm doing this with you. Boop, right in the third eye, right there. Julia's, she's lit. All right, we talk. All right, when you improvise and come up with something you really like, do you notate it somehow? No. I tell you what I do, White Rabbit, is I'll do this, is I will literally, just like I'm doing with you, this is why this is so much fun for me. Like, it's amazing. Because what I'll do is I'll find something that I like and I'll do it over and over and over again until it just becomes part of my vocabulary. You know what I mean? And I may sit there and whittle around with it, right? So what I'll do there is you saw me, what I did is I took a phrase and I repeated it, but then I altered it a little bit. This is something I highly suggest you do. Don't think that every new phrase has to be something amazing. I mean, what happens if you won the lottery? What would you do? You'd be like, oh, I won the lottery? Oh my God! Oh my God, I won the lottery! Wait a minute! Oh Mom, get in here! I won the lottery! You'd be saying it over and over again. You'd be saying it in different ways. You'd be calling people. Oh my God, it's crazy. I won the lottery. Can you believe this? You're typing. How many texts would you send? I won the lottery. So you're saying the same thing over and over again. Of course, you won the lottery. Good for you. Great. But you're so excited. There's so much emotion in there. You just got to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Guess what? Music is just like that. And if there's not repetition, right? I mean, that's why we have choruses. That's why we do a double chorus at the end of a song. People want to hear that. So don't be afraid. Don't think that you have to say something new every single time. If you say something great, nothing wrong with just saying it again, but saying it a little differently, okay? And that's exactly what I did there. Does that make sense? Okay, beautiful. Oh, that was so nice. Thank you. Whoever said that. Somebody said something really nice, and I missed it now, and I'm so sorry. I missed it. Okay. Any iconic blues licks to have in my vocabulary? Fender Bender. Yeah, there's lots of them. I mean, I covered them in the Licks Primer course and in the Blues Mastery course. Those are both inside of UGS Pro. Friends, if you have not already, get into UGS Standard. It's the third link below. Friends, listen to me. I'm giving this to you for free, and you got to understand these basics in order so that I can help expand your consciousness in what it is that we're doing here, because you got to have those principles. If you don't have those principles, I can't lead you anywhere, right? I can't lead you there. There's no skipping any of this, right? Make sense? Okay, Matthew's saying, can I ask? Yes, you can. That'd be a perfect place to ask it, because I just saw that. And that would have been a perfect place to ask your question. Thoughts on learning guitar through DVD lessons? Yeah, for sure. There's stuff to learn there. Yeah. How to play slap and pluck? Matthew's saying, well, you know, when you're plucking, you know, or you got your right? So what you're doing is using your thumb to, you can either slap like you would a bass, you know, and then you pull up with your first finger, that sort of thing. I don't do that very well, though. I don't have a need for that. I leave that for the bass players. But you could do it. You know, your bass, it's called spanking the plank, and that's another thing. by just taking the string with your first finger lifting up. Has a whole nother sound about it, doesn't it? And then you can do that with your thumb. Pump, pump, pump. Like that, popping. Okay? Yeah. All right. My friends, I've had a blast with you today. Don't go anywhere if you have not liked this first. You haven't, given it a thumbs up, not in the chat. I mean, I appreciate that, but like it. If you have not done that already, please do that. Please also share this. In some way, share it. Share it with someone. I don't care. YouTube. I don't know how to share it, but you hit the share button and it gives you an opportunity to share it. So please just share it with somebody. If you know a guitar buddy or something, it would really help out. I really appreciate that because you doing so helps the channel. See, if you always wonder why people want this, it's not out of ego. It's because it helps the channel. It helps the video, which means it helps us to make some money to where we can do more of these things. Make sense? So, so me asking that for you to do that for me is asking me to do it for you as well, because when you do that, it helps me do more lessons for you. Also, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you have not already, okay? For those who have donated today, thank you so much. So kind of you. And amazing questions you guys really turned out today, and I love that you guys are getting this. This means a lot that you guys are getting this. So we're gonna keep on doing this. I'm gonna keep on teaching you, and by the end of this week, you're gonna feel comfortable about phrasing. You're gonna be like, dude, I got this, Eric. I don't need you anymore. And that is my honest, that is the true desire of my heart, is that so that I can give you wings and push you out of the nest, and you guys can be flying all around and I can watch you, okay? You can send me videos. Please send me your progress videos. I will put you on my Instagram this week, on my social. If you show me your progress or just show me you playing to any of this stuff, you could even play back the video here and be jamming over the top of it. Show me your progress. Have your wife or your husband hold or whoever, your friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, hold the dog, hold the phone for you and send it to me, okay? On Instagram, Twitter, any of the places, and we will repost it. We would love to see you doing this, okay? Also, if you haven't already, third link below will get you access into the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. I'm giving that to you for free today. Over 30 lessons, the most important lessons that you're ever going to learn. I do not say that lightly. I 100% mean it. If I wanted every student in the world to watch 30 videos, it would be those 30 videos, because they're absolutely going to learn something. And I make $0 from it, so there's no monetary gain for me. But you will be learning a ton, and then you and I can talk shop. And this stuff's not going to be flying over your head, and you're going to be going, I don't know what's going on, everybody, you know what's going on, I don't know what's going on, you know what's going on, I don't know what's going on. You're going to be like, yeah, I know what's going on, here, check this out, because you're going to have the knowledge, okay, and I want to help you, okay? To my staff, to Jason, to Mike, to Emmy, thank you so much. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. We're going to do this again, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll see you then.